Well, story, folks. Welcome back to the Red and Terra show. This segment is the season ticket, which will be a football segment. I think that's all we're going with, Red, is it?
Most and foremost.
So,
Yeah, bit of footy chat here about Newcastle. Start off
it's
about Newcastle.
like when it comes to fucking international weeks, we just switch up in football, except for the Colin Robinson stuff this week. But yeah, international weeks can suck a donkey.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, there's been a big takeover at Newcastle. I'm sure your outfit is delighted, Red. First
Yeah.
person I thought of.
Send me pictures of Kylian Mbappe in a Newcastle game.
I've seen them all. Harry
But
Kane and all being linked.
it's gas
Steven
like
Gerrard.
he was sitting there and he was like, "Oh, look, I'm telling you, like in about I don't know, like obviously not this season. I take but by next season, we'll be really looking to be." And I was like, "Hold on a second." I was like, "It's gonna take you at least 4 or 5 years to get anywhere near anywhere." So it's not like all these players are going to just start
Like,
going to have money.
like you talk about starting from scratch, like Newcastle at bottom of the table,
Yeah,
relegation team. I know you have all the money in the world, but there's certain things come into play. It's you have to entice players. You have to try and sell them the project. You have to get the right manager. Yeah, 5-10 years time, sky's the limit probably for Newcastle. But in the interim, it's like Newcastle probably get beaten at the weekends. You know what I mean?
but they're playing
This,
sport, so
but like every team is going to want to do you over now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And also every player is probably putting themselves in the shop window. You know what I mean? Going, yeah, what's fucking
I heard my
200 grand?
put out a bit
Who?
of a cryptic Mesut Ozil put out a bit of a cryptic tweet or something.
You couldn't if you go down that. Like you go back to Man City when they got their big money, right? What was the first thing they done? They start buying stupid players like Santa Cruz and fucking who else did they have? The players they spent years trying to get off the books. Years
Yeah,
they were trying to get rid of these players. So like, you
yeah.
go out,
And the thing as well is,
you
so
get
this,
the players that will come to you, Rabino and all, like where nobody else wanted them. No one was going to pay that money, and any player you go in for, the club is automatically jacking up the price on them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you could see, like I was thinking maybe a Philip Coutinho or something. You could see
But my
going
dad
there.
was talking about him as well. Yeah,
But like, do you know who I thought straight off the bat? Who I thought would be a great player if they could get him, right? It's a pity that this takeover only went now because obviously he went on a free during the summer. Gini Wijnaldum, and I don't think he's happy at PSG. And I think a few quid they could get Wijnaldum back there. I think Wijnaldum would be a smashing player for them. Just
yeah.
thinking in terms of building a team, you know what I mean? Because the problem is like what happened with City. You go out, you spend loads of money on whatever players you can get that be willing to come, and you overpay for them, and they're not the right fit, and there becomes this bad attitude and a bad balance within the club. Where if they're smart and they bring in, it's like when a club comes up from the Championship to the Premiership, you don't all of a sudden take every fucking Premiership player who's out of contract and on big wages and all. You be smart about it. You add in a couple of players. You bring in one or two young players with Premiership experience. You bring in a couple of better quality, say, Championship players. You build a good team. See, can you stay in the league for that year? Then you start building. You know what I mean? So it could be a slow burner for Newcastle.
I can't see them getting to any major heights. I mean, look at Aston Villa. We have two billionaire owners. Now I know it's not fucking.
Oh, Did you see the graphic though? I'd have to dig it out there, but it's like 320 billion, and then the next closest is like 10 billion or 12 billion or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not just like lots of money. Like Liverpool aren't even in the top 15 that I was looking at. Like it was
Oh yeah,
Newcastle,
maybe
then it
that
was
doesn't
like
translate to instances. Yeah, I don't know. I hope not, because my dad.
on the other one. I think in the top five I seen like Leipzig, Red Bull Leipzig, and Red Bull Salzburg were about in, say, the top 8 or 10 anyway.
Yeah, sure. There's
Like
one.
they
There's
wouldn't
one
be considered.
down, two teams or something, isn't there, on the top
Yeah,
list?
but you wouldn't consider them huge clubs. They're clearly they're clearly they're a self-sustaining entity. They develop young players and they sell them on for huge profits, and they develop within the club. They're not. It's not like a little play thing for the billionaire that's like, I'm just going to throw money at. But PSG is, Man City is. So now Newcastle could be and probably will be, but it'll be a couple of years. You know what I mean?
But the thing with that is, I know probably Man City because they started off in the second division of that league, but Chelsea and all, they kind of already had a bit about them when they were taking over. Newcastle, as you're saying, is like bottom half.
They need to worry about surviving this season.
Yeah.
And every club they play against now is going to be out for blood. They're going to be like, fuck it.
You go with Bruce or
no. It would probably be a smart idea to get someone, if they didn't go with Steve Bruce, to get someone similar to him to do till the end of the season to keep them up. Or it's like, of course, the world's our oyster when it comes to picking their managers now. So why not go and get a proven manager?
Yeah, you're not going to get a Champions League winning manager that's going to keep you out of the Premiership or keep you in the Premiership.
It's a different challenge for them, but you could, theoretically, you could be picking a manager who's well established and would be willing for the challenge because of what comes once you get over that first hurdle. What then becomes the potential? So, like, if I can keep them up this year, I have a fucking war chest for January and the summer to start building my team.
Manager would take big players.
Players would be more inclined to go and play for Conte than Steve Bruce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, look, some of the names I've heard, like I heard Lampard and Gerrard and all. I'm like, that's not the way they're gonna go. I don't think.
No, they have to go for Conte or fucking Ancelotti or somebody that can take Zidane. What about fucking Zidane? He could be gone as well soon. So
Zinedine.
No, Zinedine.
There's someone behind me there. Yeah, it could be a Zidane. Now go on, jump out for a minute. We'll be finished now in 2 seconds, okay?
Count.
You count 2 seconds. Now go on, out you get. Good girl.
Even she wants yourself out of Newcastle.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Zidane will be interesting. Who else did I say? Was it like, I can't remember. There was someone else that was linked, like the Lille manager from last year. Someone else. But then they were talking about him and St. Maxima didn't get along or something like that. Just, yourself, everything and anything is going to be thrown out at the moment. So it's hard to really know what's fact and what's fiction. But the deal's been done. They apologized and got beyond the copyright issues. So, I think it's fair play to Newcastle. I'm not one of those people that'd be bitter, like, scumbags. You know what I mean? Like, I like Newcastle.
I don't want them to do well.
Yeah, well, that's just pettiness on your behalf.
Oh, yeah, extremely petty, and I'm happy.
And we know you're an extremely petty person, but personally, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them, and I'm interested to see. Like, I've been up at Newcastle. The Alpha was involved with Newcastle as a scout years ago, with an affinity for Newcastle, and I'm happy. I'm happy for them, and it's going to be entertaining now to see what they can do. I'm looking at it now as a Liverpool fan, going, man, we're fucked. Like, we're fucked. We're not even in the same ballpark as any of these cunts. Once this team breaks up, once Klopp leaves or whatever, we're fucking screwed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't got the muscle in.
You just got a league. That's the main thing.
We got the league. We've got another 30 years to fucking get a financial backer from Tera or something like that. But we're not even in the same ballpark when it comes to something. Like, it's at the stage now. Newcastle can come in and sign players over Liverpool now. The allure of fucking, Newcastle is more than Liverpool now. That's the way it is. It's just like, well, we'll keep seeing how these young players do and see can we fucking sell bleeding Salah for 200 million. That'll fund our next bleeding squad or something, you know what I mean? But right, so I think that's enough on Newcastle. We'll jump into the weekend. Just like we said, Footy's back. hate the fucking international breaks. I'm fucking sick of them. It's
Yeah.
like every other week. You only get going in the league and you're fucking into another international break. But just pull up the fucking fixtures for the weekend. See what you think. See what your opinion is on some games. So, early game, Liverpool-Watford. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a bleeding telephone score.
Telephone score.
I'm going to go 4-0.
You're in early, the new manager in at Watford.
Yeah, but you have a great record against it, don't you?
We've what?
You have a great record against Watford. Like, he's always battered them, don't you?
No, remember Watford were the first team to beat us last year or something, or the year, was it the year we won it? The year we won the league, I think they were the first one to beat us. It was 4-0, and then we were knocked out of the Champions League by Atletico, and then COVID took over. I remember they beat us recently. Yeah.
Yeah, no, still got to a Liverpool win though.
Southampton Leeds, 3:00.
Oh, it's toughy.
They both been kind of struggling, haven't they?
Yeah, because it's hard to look past Leeds.
I wonder, is Rafinha struggling getting back the same way Fabinho was struggling to get back in time? They're getting back late tonight. I know Fabinho is with an early start tomorrow. I wonder, will they be struggling with Rafinha? Rafinha is really the standout player, isn't he? So good. Yeah. Smashing player. Southampton have been struggling a little bit. They could have probably beaten Chelsea last weekend or the last match weekend or whatever. But Ward-Prowse got sent off for his tackle on Jorginho, wasn't it? Yeah. Straight red, and then they got beaten 3-1. So they've been struggling as well. So it's kind of it's a tough one to pick, that one. I'd probably lean towards Leeds, maybe.
2-1 Leeds, I say.
Yeah. Norwich Brighton. It's hard to see past Brighton at the moment, isn't it? Norwich are horrendous.
Yeah, Norwich actually, I thought they would have done a lot better than they have.
Worse than last time around, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, they beat us in the first game of the season. Like, they look like they're going to kick on from there. And it was Watford beat us, wasn't it?
Yeah, Watford beat us, yeah. We beat Norwich in the first game of the season, I think. Villa Wolves. Villa have been struggling, Red. What's going on there?
Well, no, we haven't really. To be fair.
Yeah, actually, you've had a couple of decent results recently.
Yeah. We're doing well. Like, we're doing, like, despite, like, I'm happy with the start so far.
Yeah. I don't think he's really found the right blend for Ings and what's his name?
Watkins.
Ollie Watkins up front. I don't think he hasn't got out of what he should be getting or what he
haven't gelled yet, but they will.
Exactly.
I mean, there's been glimpses. I've watched the matches. There has been good play between them, and fair enough, when Watkins wasn't playing, Ings was scoring. But Watkins scored the last game, so once the both of them are scored, it doesn't have to be the same game. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
I'd be happy enough once they're kind of nicking the goals for us and winning. But I can see the two of them between them getting maybe 25, 30 goals a season. So,
and Jimenez back scoring for Wolves again.
Yeah, but I fancy us to win this one. I fancy us to win. Now, international breaks are hard because
it's hard to know what players come back. McGinn got a couple of lovely goals for Scotland again. A dinger he scored against Israel anyway. So
he scores
he is one of them cunts, like, and he gets them quite regularly as well. He's not like, or he gets one a season and it's always a 40-yard. Like, you'll get fucking 5 or 6 goals a season and they'll be all like curlers in the top corner and smashers in the bottom corner or whatever.
Lingering out with the box shots.
So you think they beat Wolves? Yeah, you beat Wolves.
I'd be confident enough to win this game.
Right.
I'm not going to put them in the accumulator, but
no. Leicester United. Both teams are hit and miss this season, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very hard.
United, it's just gas, seeing them fucking gassed up every match, and then Ollie is just, it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no,
I get so much joy out of United's topsy-turvy fucking results.
There has drawn all over it.
And Ole giving out about fucking not getting decisions in games when they've got a 94th minute penalty and then miss it anyway, you know what I mean? And then because Ronaldo didn't take it, all the whinging about that and all, it's glorious, I have to say. And it would be glorious for another poxy draw or something, and Hernandez to
It
miss a penalty in the
draw
middle.
written all over. It has like a boring 1-0 draw written all over.
City Burnley, I think there's fucking no question of what's going to happen in that game. Burnley have been, I think this is the year Burnley go down personally.
Yeah, the luck seems to be running out, doesn't it?
It's just the goal, the graft. Like, I think the biggest problem seems to be Ashley Barnes and what's your man, the other lad up front, the big lad, Woods.
Well, yeah.
They've kind of just, it's not happening for them. The lack of pace. It's just.
But he couldn't make that many signings and
no, look, come here. It happens to teams. They burn out. They get a bit stale. And then they still only have Jay Rodriguez coming off the bench, and he's never really pushed for a start in that team. And I just think they ran out of steam. And probably Dice should have moved on while he was a bit more in demand. But yeah.
But I think Dice walk into a job handy enough.
Yeah, no, but he probably should have went while Burnley were like, if he hangs on at the end of the season, it could be into the championship for him, and then he'd leave. You know what I mean? So he'd be walking away on a low rather than one of his highs. You know. What do you think is Sterling being linked with a move away from City?
I don't think it affected you too much.
No, and it's not surprising. I think we're getting Grealish in. He's a much better player than Sterling is.
Yeah. Sterling still has Sterling plays.
Smashing player, yeah.
Smashing player.
He just looks like he's lost interest there, doesn't he? Really, and as soon as they start talking about wanting to move on, you know, the club doesn't want him. He doesn't want to be there. It's only a matter of time, isn't it? Really. A good game that we'd be looking forward to, and I'll probably be watching it the 5:30 game. Brentford against Chelsea. Brentford are flying, aren't they?
Brentford are a good side.
They're a good side. I watched them the first game of the season when they beat Arsenal, and then just other than match of the day, hadn't really watched them. But obviously the Liverpool game, I had a good look at them, and I was very impressed. And then did they win who did they play in the last game then?
I can't remember. That's a race can fuck off.
I think they got a draw or something as well against a decent draw. Let me see. No, it doesn't show results there. I don't know. No. I don't know. Can't remember. Everton, West Ham. Again, two teams that are kind of pushing. Rafa's doing well at Everton. West Ham have been decent enough this season. Be a half decent game.
Yeah, I'd go side of West Ham.
Would you? I'd be leaning towards Everton now myself.
Yeah, but there's a draw written all over it.
Yeah. Then, of course, the aforementioned Newcastle against Tottenham be the 4:30 game. They couldn't have planned that any better, could they?
No.
For the fucking Super Sunday game. Spurs, very, very hit and miss. Harry Kane, very out of form. Newcastle, very close to the bottom. Bags of money.
You still find your Spurs, so wouldn't you'd still have to
like how motivated are them Newcastle players now to be a part of this project going forward? That's what you're looking at. The John Joe Shelby's, the...
Oh, yeah, but the problem is, though, they also had the Joe Lintons and stuff where that John Joe Shelby would come in and stick a 40-yard or a cross on
Callum Wilson, isn't it up front?
Yeah.
What a player.
They haven't got great enough, it's all well and good being inspired to a lot of players aren't good enough. They're not good. They're not a great team, So yeah, no, I'd go.
But where you probably have a stale team that's going, this is bollocks. Ashley won't put money into it again. We're struggling again. We need players. Fucking going to be another long season. You know what I mean? That attitude, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, January we could be signing top players, and you know.
Yeah, it's all.
But I want to be a part of this new evolution of the club and all, you know, like what? That's what I'm saying. Do they get that kind of a boost, or does it go like everyone's out for their head, and if you know they're getting found out and struggling for the season? So it'd be interesting.
Anyway.
And last game on Monday night we have Arsenal Palace. So Patricio Vieira back to Arsenal again in the London derby.
Palace are that sort of team that, like, if you catch them on a good day, they'll beat you. So, and Arsenal
They were very unlucky against Brentford. Brentford equalised in the last minute. They were very good in that game. I watched it. Gallagher is a smashing player.
Yeah.
Smashing player. They need to get rid of fucking OU. He's fucking useless, he is.
Yeah.
And Teke, useless. The usual with Zaha, he's fucking hot and cold, isn't he? When he's good, he's great, and when he's not. He's terrible. He's non-existent. Arsenal starting to go better for them, isn't it? Better
Yeah,
result.
but they didn't do that. They'll do that and they dip again.
Yeah.
And then when it looks like he's going to get sacked, they'll get a couple of results, and then they'll dip again. Like,
Yeah.
It's a very poor Arsenal comparatively.
Are you Wally in disguise? Because that's what he does, isn't it?
Yeah.
About to get sacked. But yeah. He's very highly thought of, it seems to be. I was listening to Jack Wilshere talking about Arteta, and they seem to think very highly of him.
Where people were, I'm saying that the players aren't understanding these tactics. Like, he's too hands on, and
that's the way Pep is, isn't it? So that's the way he's learned. Like,
it was like he'll change the session based off what you're seeing live, as opposed to, right, here's the yoke, and then take notes. But he'll tell them all, like, all right, run around, do this. And then they notice that one of them is they're better at turn the other way, and they go, all right, stop, actually, no, don't do it. And then another thing was that because he can speak different languages, so if he's shouting back to the defender who's Spanish, he'll speak in Spanish, the directions, and then to the fucking Croatian in the middle, he'll speak Croatian, and then to the French guy in front, he'll speak French. But the other players don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's a communication issue with him as well, apparently. This is what I've heard. I don't know how.
Well, you also have to take into account the fucking shocking set of circumstances he's found himself in terms of the team.
Oh yeah, comparatively, it's one of the worst Arsenal.
One of the worst Arsenal sides ever. Now they've a lot of good young players: Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, smashing players. Martinelli, really, really good players. Like, and give them a couple of years, they'd be fucking really, really good players.
Yeah, but back then I remember when the Invincible. The difference, like
the problem is, can they attract better players? Can, like, the stuff with your man Salibet and all it's just weird. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the club, but my prediction for that game, I think maybe Arsenal get it done, but
I'm gonna go with Palace. Okay.
You're gonna go with Palace, right? Well, anyway, that wraps up our summary for the weekend's action and a little bit of chat on the big news coming in about the Newcastle takeover, and that's basically it. Enjoy the football. Good to have the football back. Fuck that international bollocks.
It's a load of work.
A load of wanks, Dan. We've been us, you've been you, and go fuck yourself. Catch us next time.